Well, folks, today is the day. I've assembled this thing, well, just the one side, because I needed to do visuals. And I've been doing some markings and figuring some stuff out. I actually did do a post a little while ago, but anyways, today's the day we're going to chop this thing. I know everybody's been waiting for this. So my doors aren't 100%, but I'm not too worried about it, because I'm going to, basically, we're going to cut these posts low. And then we'll deal with the main chop, and then I'll do the door tops later. The other door is kind of buggered, so I'm gonna have to, I want to take the top off a different door. So anyways, I've had a few ideas. So, you know, I was thinking a very mild chop, maybe like 3, but man, the tops are so big, and you have to see that the portions of the car are so different. So it's like, I'm leaning on 4. I really like the 5. And I don't think it would look so hammered as a 5. I sit in the car and I have like so much room in the car. It's like I'm not worried about headroom whatsoever. That's not a problem. I sit comfortable on like a chair like this with a set of rails. That's a pretty big beefy chair already. I have like so much headroom I don't know what to do with. So that part's not the problem. You just have to imagine, look at this car. You can see just how, you know, how much room, like how much difference this car is because of the way I raise the fenders up and stuff. It's not a good example because that fender's a little goofy over there, but let's go over here. So you can kind of see how much different the car is overall. Look how far the running board is versus over there. It's kind of nice to have a little example sitting by. So the running board's raised up, the fenders are raised up, the whole car is lower. So, you know, this roof profile works with this. This car, the roof just looks really bubbleless and goofy in my eyes. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna start with a 4 and see how I like it. I pretty much will drop it. I photoshopped it. I know what they look like. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm just gonna go full Monty really and probably go 5, but we'll start with 4 because it's easy to cut a little more off than it is to just go full out and like, oops, maybe I did too much. So we'll see how 4 looks in the real picture versus my photoshopping skills here. But first things first, I gotta fix this hinge because when I chop this thing's gonna get really goofy. So from here, I think all I'm gonna do is just, this looks about 3/16. I'm just going to cut a plate to which then I can fasten it into here. I just have it set up where I would just bolt it onto there. So when this thing's all said and done, we can do that. And then I think the first thing I'll do is I'm going to pop these pins and we're just going to do a random cut across the top. That way I can put the doors in and then we can tack the doors. And after that, everything's pretty straightforward. These cars are pretty flat that you can just do a cut. It's not a big deal. Back here, I see a lot of different things people do. I think here you end up with a lot of material, and it depends on the amount of chop. Some guys end up doing some slits here to make room. I've seen other guys do one of these curly things. I think Cornfield always does that. So I might try that. I don't know what that entails. Like, I guess we'll see once we do the chop and we set the roof back down. I don't mind taking out of the rear window, but I'm wondering at some point if I don't mind the mail slotty stuff, but I don't know. I don't know how small that back window will get. Oh, there's a tape measure. We'll see, I guess. Because I think what a 4 is not bad. Yeah, 4. Oh no, it's a huge window. So even if you took everything out, that would be a good sized window in my eyes. So I'm not too worried about that. Anyways, first things first. Let me cut. Actually, I don't even have to cut. Hopefully I just have some strapping. We can like weld this sucker all together and get that thing in place. I'll just feel better if it's done. I don't think I'm gonna lose this. I know a lot of people would just cut the upper hinge out, and no, I'm gonna leave it because I think we can do everything we want to do in this vicinity of the window frame, so I'm not too concerned about that. We do have to get these inner pieces out because I don't want to screw them up. So yeah, I guess without further ado, let's get started. All right, folks. First thing we're gonna do, we are gonna cut the top of the doorposts off. Just to make this rest of this work much easier. I think we're gonna do our cuts all pretty high in the door, so I'm just trying to find a nice little sweet spot to do these. And I find if I do the tape, it semi-forces me to cut a straight line versus not so straight. All right. You know what? I can't cut through this post yet until I take these inner braces out. I call them an inner brace, but they're just some sheet metal. I'd rather cut them to what I want versus cutting them in the middle and then trying to shoehorn them all together after. That's the only thing I really love about these cars. Most of their screws are all like brass hardware, so it's actually really easy to take stuff apart. Now, I'm gonna have to take this out so I can't get these pieces off with the dash in. But I'll see if those screws come out nice first, and then we'll grab a, what do you call it? An impact quick and tear all that stuff apart. And just like that, we are into our first cut. Whoops. All right. What do you say, 4 inches? I think that's about right. I think 5 would be cooler, but all right. Grab my tape. Do the other door yet. Oh. Wondering what happened there. Now I know why. I just feel that's the straightest and lowest point. You gotta remember I'm replacing this top piece too from the other door. All right, now the plan is to mark out the whole car, and I want to just tack the doors in place. Not that it really matters on this car, but I might force things a little straighter than I want. Once I cut the roof off, I'll be able to manipulate things a little bit, so I'd like it to get where I want it, and then, well, it's permanently there. That's pretty good. We'll get a zap on the other side. So I am now gonna find a sweet spot to chop everything. And I'm thinking just under the hinge somewhere here. I'll use this as my line, so I can do it even from side to side. Grab a tape measure. And we are doing 4 inches. Like it or not, that's what is happening. Which ends up directly through these pins. So I'm gonna drill those out, but we'll do it after. That's gonna be the initial cut. There we go. That is done. Through here, we'll start up there. Nothing special. That is my 4-inch mark. Make sure that stays 4 inches everywhere. 4, 4, 4. These are the harder spots, but we'll just pick a spot and make it happen. All right, now, just to be consistent, I want to make sure I stay in a very straight spot on the back so I don't have any funny business to fill there. I should go higher, but I think that is fine. This thing looks straight. It's as straight as anywhere else is. Or should I? Let's redo it. We'll play it safe. We shall play it safe. Let's go. Let's eyeball it. Let's go right there. Whoops. All right. Start all over. That's all right. We got lots of time. I have lots of time. I don't know about you folks. Maybe you don't have as much time as I got. I think you can't really rush this. You can rush it, but the outcome might show that you rushed it. Alrighty, survey says. I realize I have garnish moldings in here, so I got to do those too. But we'll mark everything out and then we'll pull the garnish moldings off next. I realize I want to take these out first. One down. I don't have a lot of trim, but what trim I have, I should try to keep it, that's for sure. There we go. All right.
to our measuring. All right, we're gonna ballpark this. I think the eyeball says, oh shoot, I got that inner garnish to do yet. All right, I'll get that one after. The rear window molding I gotta get. I don't know why, that feels like that's crooked, but. Yeah, I don't like that. Let's go down a little bit more. For me, this feels like the straightest cut. I just don't like that. I think I should be taking the 4 out of here, but then I get over here and it gets weird. Like a straight chop is a straight chop is so much easier, but I feel like here in this section is the straightest where this trim piece or this molding is. I'm kind of in a weird scenario there. I'll see how low I can go in this back window. I might switch this all up yet again. See here, that's probably pretty straight right in here. So let's go with that. I feel that's okay. What does that put us though? Yeah, it's like 5. Okay, let's redo the top. I think if I go down a little bit, it'll be pretty good. I feel better about that. Just doing a straight chop like that. Well, there we go. That's not so bad. All right, I just gotta unscrew that window trim inside there quick. Perfect. Alrighty, somewhere around there. Cool, cool. Should do this a little bit better actually. Recheck a few of my pieces there to make sure as I go around this stays at 4 inch. Tends to venture sometimes. What starts at 4 inches sometimes drifts and gets wobbly. Like that. All right, this one I know I went through this one. So we'll do the same, but we'll cut the top and then we'll figure the bottom one out after. We'll just pull, we'll cut the roof, take the roof off somehow, and then, where is my, and then we'll come back and we can trim these pieces. All right, I'm just gonna paint these lines because I came back once and they were, the tape kind of fell off, so. In case something happens, we at least have a permanent reference here. Cool. All right. Hopefully it stays. If it doesn't, not the end of the world. I'm going to start with this side. That way I can lift it with the forklift after. Got a little bit of wood to slice through, but I'm going to use the big zip cut for this. Be a lot of wood. Make sure I don't shoot sparks at you guys. I'm gonna sawzall through the wood after. We are halfway there. Okay, Sawzall. All right, that one's done then. Just gotta do the back. That one's done. Tiniest piece right here. See how I have? No helping hands. Mr. Forklift comes in yet again. Perfect. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna do all of these. I'm gonna cut most, I'll show you guys. All righty, there we go. My plan of attack now, we're gonna cut all the lower sections off. This one I'm gonna cut most of the way through, but then I'm gonna take the tape off and I'm gonna get these posts. There's a little nub for the windshield on here, so I wanna take those off nice and not, I'd have to cut like right through it over the stud and I don't wanna do that. So I'm gonna cut most of the way through and then I'll drill it out. I might just take it with the top post for now, and then I'll deal with it later as far as when we put the windshield and stuff in. And where is my, you may wonder why I'm using the grinder. I like it. Some of you folks may wonder why I'm using a grinder for this and not this. I find you can do pretty skilled things with this, but I find the blade dances around and I get more crooked cuts with this. This one you have to take into account the blade, so I'm not going under the line, I'm going just above it, just to keep my consistent 4-inch everywhere. Anyways, let's continue. What do you think? Whoa, kind of glad I didn't go more. Man, I like it. I don't think I'd want to go more. That's pretty much it. I was on the fence doing 5. So I did 3 from the picture, and I was like, that's okay, but I want it to look chopped, but not aggressively chopped. I don't know. I think it's good because it complements everything that's been done to the car. You can't tell from this side. The other side's better. I don't know what happened over there. Somehow I screwed up, but I think it just needs some trimming here and there, but that's a little excessive. I don't know. I tried to do my best at everything there, but it's kind of how it goes, I guess. I measured the piece I cut out, and it's like bang on 100% the 4-inch mark. So I don't know. I think there's just some tweaking on the edges and things, but hard to tell because I don't have the window on. Let me strap the window on just so you get an idea. I don't want to cut it just yet. All right. See, now with the front window, it doesn't look as aggressive. Oh, I'm pretty happy with that. Like, I honestly was thinking of going 5-inch, but that looks perfect. Like, I think the proportions of everything fit. I mean, it's chopped, but it doesn't really look chopped. I don't know. I don't know. I like it. Anyways, well, you know what that means though? We got a lot of welding ahead of us here. I'm gonna work on just tacking everything together, trying to get the doors sorted out. That is the big goal for right now. So, yeah, just tack it and make it one unit would be pretty awesome right about now. I'm trying to see how things go here, like whether I line up the back, but I line up the front. I don't know, things are pretty lined up. See, this side's not too bad, so I'm not sure. There's a little bit of something here. But these lines line up pretty nice. I know there's like guys slit these to push and pull things into place, so I don't know if that's what's happening on this side. I really don't know. Unless it's this. No, the wood's not there. I don't really know what I did. Like, that looks like a big screw up. Oh well. Like, it wasn't this piece that came out of here, was it? No, the wood's from that side. Interesting. I don't know what I did. That's weird. Maybe it's for the angle where I cut it. I don't know. I'm not going to put too much fuss. I'll get everything else and then whatever. If I got to put a sliver in there, I'll put a sliver in there. I'll do whatever it takes to make that fixed. I've been kind of looking at this and I've been measuring up all my cuts and looking at everything. Like, this side's really good. There's a little bit of something hanging up over here, but I feel my cuts are pretty good. It's just I found I drifted a little bit with my cuts, kind of to the smaller side. So that's not too bad. As much as I try, you can see here, you got to take into account of my zip cuts. So this one's pretty good, but then, you know, we're just a wee bit off on some of these cuts. So I'm going to clean up these cuts here really quick, see if I can get this thing to sit more square and better. Because this one, as much as I talked about my cuts being straight, they're not so straight. I don't know that I'll get this 100%, but we're going to go in, I'm going to make sure everything sits pretty square, clean up these cuts a little, so I can at least tack this thing together, and then we'll figure out stuff from there. But for right now, all of this is a little off. So yeah, that's how those things happen. But anyways, we'll go grab our grinder, our zip cut. We'll kind of walk it through a little bit. We'll straighten things down, do a couple measurements. I'm thinking I'm just a hair bit, like an 1/8 off. I know I'm way more in the back, but we'll see if we can make that a comfortable little weld in the back here yet. All right, folks, we got everything tacked into place. This is like my last chance to try to correct this door issue before we weld the roof on. I'm feeling now we won't split the top if I pull this post, and this needs to come forward a little bit to line up anyways, so I'll show you in a bit, but right now I'm gonna set this up. We're gonna do like we were doing. I wanna tug this post, break this weld, see if I get that gap to line up pretty minty, and then, I don't know, we'll be happy. All right, survey says. All right. Kind of get some pliers, tweak that together, give it a weld. I sort of feel like I'm beating a dead horse here, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. That looks good. Will it stay good? That's the question. Survey says, oh, mint. It is on the money. Money. All right. A little of the same to this side. See how this goes. Oops, sorry. All right, one more clamp. The other side went nice. This one, it's not quite the... All right, so I need 3 hands and I'd be good. I want that down, but I want that in. And I don't want to move. Does it stay? Ooh, I think it does. Money. Alrighty, that's not too bad. We got everything tacked in. The roof is 1. We have a little bit of finessing. I got this pretty good over here. Just a little tweaking. So we probably got a 1 1/8 inch chop. That's probably about, or sorry, 4 1/8 of an inch chop. But there's still some hooey business in the back that'll have to fix, but it's not that big of a deal. But we have, these are lined up pretty good. This is not bad. You can see just a hair bit out that's here. Same thing here. Front is not bad, but the back post, I'm either gonna slice into both of them and then just tweak them so they actually line up. It looks pretty good, but you know, the front is lined up, but the inside you can see we got to do that same thing. Do a slice, bring one in, bring one out, just to make everything a very gradual. The back, I don't know, I goofed somewhere. I have these lines lined up, and then here's this excess. You can see how it overhangs and stuff. So I think this is where somebody does those little relief cut. That way, looks like a question mark. I don't know. I know guys go back and forth. I think one a guy can get away with, just a single relief. Here we kind of goofed. I mean, whatever. I can fill that. I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, same with this side. I got this side better, but overall, everything's much better on here, just here. Which again, I guess this side's pretty good. Once this tightens up, these gaps will line up. Yeah, I don't know. How's the fun? More welding. It's more welding, always. Anyways, I think that's as far as I'm getting today. I'm pretty happy with that though. Like, we got the overall look. We know what we're shooting for. I don't know. I think it's a much better look overall. It just needed that. Everything the whole thing works together. You have to compare what the stock looks like to what I'm kind of shooting for here. So yes, the car's going to be like crazy, crazy low. I like that though. When I stand beside it, that's about roof height. I have insane amount of room in there. Nobody's going to believe me, but like this is a very tall seat that's in here, and I don't know, there's like tons of room. I know I could have gone another inch and still wore a top hat in this thing. I think the reasoning people think that is a lot of time they get a car this low. Get my seat where I think it should be. It's a lot of time to get a car this low. You have to channel it. And there's absolutely no channel in this car. So I'm sitting on this seat. It's very comfortable. This seat is comparable to something with rails on it, and I have like that much room before the roof kind of thing. Like sitting upright, like, you know, I don't know. There's like lots of room. Anyways, folks, I think that is where we are going to leave this one, like I said before. So, as always, I want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you on the next one where we try to figure out the puzzle. It's a very small puzzle, but we try to figure out, we're going to weld this thing all together, get that thing done, and move on to the next, which I think is going to be the motor. I think I got some parts came in, but we'll have to see how that works out. Anyways, later.